On the 10th of April, the Farewell North Game Jam started, so I got someone to work with and got going. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. It's been a little while, but now I've got used to going back to school and I'm back. Now today we are talking about my first failed game jam. Now before I go any further, the other guy, let's call him Jim lol, did basically all the code and I did the art and the UI design. Day 1. The first thing you do in a game jam is think of a game idea, isn't it? Anyway, we talked with each other for a bit and came up with this idea. We might make a game in which you are in a spaceship, your mission is to restore light in a dark galaxy and you have to reignite stars and fight aliens. Day 2. Yes, that is all we did on day 1, but now this day we did more planning. By the way, we did way too much planning. Here is a very summarized version of what it said. In this game, your main goal is to restore light and dark in a dark galaxy, populated by dangerous aliens of all kinds. You are the career of a new civilization, the spearhead of the colonizers. Your spaceship will have these main perks and stats: health, shield, speed, and laser guns. Each laser gun acts as a damage dealer. The more you have, the more you can damage. Each power-up alters the normal game loop by changing some parameters such as speed, invulnerability, and damage. Then because Jim was busy and I was bored, I made a backstory and image plan. Here it is. I'm not going to read it all out, but you can pause the video if you want to read it all. Day 3. On day 3 I started making a UFO that in the end wasn't even used, but here was the first try. But Jim said it was too low resolution, so I made it a bit bigger, as you can see. He still didn't quite like it, so he gave me some example art on how he wanted it to look like, so I went into Pisco and started making the spaceship. Here's how it turned out, and it looks pretty nice for my standards anyway. Then just as I was trying to get the image to Jim, Unity Collab stopped working, but that only took an hour to figure out. Then Jim worked on the test player and got the player moving. Then we did some image planning and Jim wanted the spaceship bigger because it was a little small, so I made it bigger in Piscal and it ended up looking amazing. Then I made a moon and went to bed because it was late. Day 4. I started by making 3 more moon variants and that took a good while changing it around, but then ended up looking like this. Then I made 3 different asteroids and they were good too. And here is where the game went into a rabbit hole. The problem was, at Jim's side, he has work and a lot less time than me. So that's all that got done that day. From now on, we go way too slow. Day 5. I started by making an alien, but that failed and looked like this trash. So I tried making an evil version of this spaceship, and this was the first try. It looked good, but it wasn't different enough. So I remade it a little and it was a lot better, but Jim still wanted it to look different. So once again, for the last time, I adjusted it and it looked amazing. He liked it and it looked different enough from the other ship. Jim this day worked on the enemies and their behaviour, and I came up with a name for the game, which was Darkverse. Day 6. I started this day by making a logo for the game, but then Jim wanted me to code the rest of the enemy behaviour. You can probably guess how that went. You see, if I haven't done all the code in a game myself, it's very hard for me to understand what I'm supposed to be making exactly and how to execute it into the rest of the game. I picked a font for the game and that's all that happened that day. Day 7. This is where Jim went absolutely silent on Discord and did nothing, so it was up to me to get the game to somewhat working. I made the main menu and made this background for the main menu, but it would eventually get used basically everywhere because I simply just didn't have enough time left. Then I made the dialogue system in about 2 hours and then spent half an hour trying to get the animations to work. Then I made the level select page, which just had one level and an extra tab to show off all the art I made that was not yet coded in the game. Day 8. The last day was here, and for this day all I did was make a pause menu which took a bit to fix, a bunch of bugs it made, and they are still not all fixed. I made a logo for the itch page and made the itch page itself. I exported for Windows and WebGL and submitted the game to the Farewell North Game Jam in 1 hour, 4 minutes before the deadline. And that's basically it. Huge thanks to Jim. He doesn't want me to use his real name, so that's why he's called Jim. Next week will be a smaller devlog on a ping pong game I made. An early version is already on itch if you want a sneak peek. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.